Hey, and we're live. There it is.
Live.
Happy June, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Showtime. We are the Fourth Wall, coming to you the first Saturday of every month, as we've been doing. And I, of course, now need to remember to close that window that has the stream going, because it confuses me every month when I hear myself on delay. It's fantastic. Great. We've got some fun stuff in store for you this month. One of the things coming up that is just premiering this weekend is Orlando Fringe's DigiFringe. We have a video there on demand that is Fruit Flies and Friends. And we're actually going to be doing a watch party of it immediately after this stream at 12:45 Eastern Time. So you can join us there. Hillary and Neil are putting that link in the chats on YouTube and Facebook. We've also shared the event on our Facebook page. You have to create an account. It's $10, but it gives you access to the show, and we would love to just chat with you during it. It's a bunch of new stuff, things that we've created over the last year, collaborative pieces with ourselves and with our friends. So we hope you'll join us there. But to our newest projects from this past month, because it is Saturday Showtime, Showtime has to happen, and we have to create new stuff. It's our imperative towards ourselves to be creative artists. I'm going to start. So last year, I was playing a ton of Bach. I did my first solo recital of all Bach stuff in a decade last March in Evansville, Indiana. Huge thanks to Robert Nichols for supporting me in that and the Arts Council of Southwestern Indiana. But then I kind of put that aside because I realized I didn't want to be only studying and presenting the music of a dead white European guy. No matter how much I love Bach and care about and really respect the craftsmanship of his work, it was kind of feeling like not the right time. So I've been exploring lots of different musics, and one of the things I've come to recently is getting back into jazz, something I grew up playing a ton of. So there is a huge intersection between Bach's music and jazz. When I was a kid, one of the people I studied with, Dave Samuels, talked about, if you want to get really good at soloing, study Bach. So I've tried to combine these two worlds and done a little work bringing them together. So I'm going to play a little bit. One of the great analogs of Bach in terms of jazz is Charlie Parker, the saxophonist and sort of person who created the idea of bebop. Bebop to me is a lot like Bach's music in that it's an exhaustive approach to scalar and harmonic ideas from kind of an older standpoint. Bach mastered everything that came before him and gave these incredible expressive potentials by exploring where keys can go, where sounds can go. Here's a little bit of Bach just for like comparison. This is the jig from his E major violin sonata. The thing I love in that really connects it to bebop with me is that he has all these sequences where one chord is going into the next, moving around what we know as the circle of fourths or the circle of fifths. You see this deeply embedded in bebop in these chord progressions that Charlie Parker mastered and worked with. Really, one of his great things was taking these sequential progressions, changing them a little bit, but then being able to solo over them. And he just was such a student and a master of scales and working within those realms. While I am not going to attempt to improvise like Charlie Parker, I do recommend listening to just hear this full-on mastery of the craft, like Bach had mastery of his harmonic progressions. So I'm going to play a tune to get in the Charlie Parker realm called Confirmation. It's one of my favorites of his, and I wrote a little Bach-inspired solo to go on top of it. I'm going to remember to take my headphones off because that was real annoying just then playing the Bach. So here's Confirmation by Charlie Parker. take it over from here?
Yeah, sure thing. That was sweet. Time for something completely different. So, a project I've been working on the last few months is an opera. I am not on screen, but I am the director of a filmed version of a micro opera that was commissioned and created by this group called Strange Trace. Many of them are graduates of Boston Conservatory at Berkeley, where I'm also a grad, and made some of those connections. But in the last year, in the pandemic, they decided to create an opera company and create a festival of micro operas that is happening online this weekend. Everything gets premiered last night, tonight, and tomorrow night, and they're available on demand through the end of the month. It is the Stencils Festival, and we'll put links in the comment sections. This particular one is Words and Music by Greg Nahabedian, and it is called October Surprise. So this is a micro opera all about conspiracy theories and those who want to believe them. What we're going to show for you now is just a little clip. This is an aria performed by the one and only Felix Aguilar Tomlinson. And this is all about tinfoil hats. So yeah, it gets weird, and enjoy this selection from October Surprise. The premiere, like I said, happens this weekend. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., everyone can see October Surprise for the first time, and then it is on demand through the end of the month. So check out the Stencils Festival for this, among other interesting micro operas. So here is Felix from October Surprise.
Alright folks, I'm excited to be here with you today. Let me just say, I'm proud to be an American. Aren't you? Yeah! But does that mean the world is a dangerous place? No! You wear a seatbelt when you drive, right? You wear a helmet when you ride a bike, right? You keep a loaded gun under your pillow at night, right? I know that my audience is smart. You want to be safe. That's why it's so important that you wear a tinfoil hat. These hats are great. They keep doctors from brainwashing you into getting a vaccine. They provide protection against 5G radiation. They mess with the radar in alien spacecraft. Let's learn how to make one. Okay, here we go. You can see here that we've got a few different styles, and most of them can slip right under your regular hat. That's why in the truth community we're always wearing unmarked baseball caps. There's the cowboy, which is really great if you spend a lot of time in wide open spaces. Here we've got the classic visor, great if you spend a lot of time with computers. But for the most bang for your buck, you wanna go with the classic wraparound. Here's what you do. First, you're going to grab your roll of tinfoil, and you wanna start by just wrapping it right around the circumference of your noggin at least 5 times. Now all this extra material at the top will just crumple down. Gives those tracking rays more material to fight through. Now we'll do an extra sheet right at the top. Get your packing tape and wrap it tightly around your head. Don't be afraid to really constrict the blood flow to your brain. Now you're going to want to keep this on while you sleep and shower. The protection elements is what they don't want you to know. You might see other experts offering alternate protection options, like custom-fitted space blankets or ritual enchantments, but those really don't have the long-lasting effect that tinfoil does. Thank you!
This production was made possible by the Secret Large-Scale Atmospheric Program and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Wow, that was delightful and not remotely what I was expecting. So from something completely off the hook that was wonderful to something very different. So this month I decided to do something very different. I did a little audio recording, a little video editing, little multi-tracking, and a lot of learning of technology, all to create this little bit of a cover of one of my favorite traditional tunes that's been made famous by the Waylon Jennies. I hope you enjoy Long Time Traveler. Ye fleeting charms of earth, farewell, your springs of joy are dry. My soul now seeks another hope, a brighter world on high. I'm a long time traveling here below. I'm a long time traveling away from home. I'm a long time traveling here below to lay this body down. Farewell, kind friend, whose tender care has long engaged my love. Your fond embrace I now exchange for better friends above. I'm a long time traveling here below. I'm a long time traveling away from home. I'm a long time traveling here below to lay this body down. To lay this body down.
Really lovely, Hillary.
Hey, thanks.
Such a beautiful piece. So now we get to welcome in our guest for the month. This is Ryan Adam Wells, who just finished a super successful run at the Orlando Fringe Festival in real life, performing in person in front of humans. What's it like out there, Ryan?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's really nice. I mean, it was Florida, so it was kind of a dice roll as to whether or not people were vaccinated, I guess. But it felt good to be out there and flashing my Vax card left and right, and be like, I can go places and do things, and it felt amazing. I mean, the crowds were just so welcoming and so happy. And even though none of the theaters were at 100% capacity, which was smart, people were just thrilled to be seeing live theater. And most of the shows sold out at least once. Like,
And you sold out more than once.
yes, I did. Yes, yeah, it was great. Once word got around about the show, it took a little minute, but yeah, it's
Speaking of the show, that's
Oh, yeah.
the 500 Club.
500 list.
Sorry. Wrong thing. Which is also streaming on Orlando DigiFringe. So after you hang out with us on our watch party later this afternoon, you can check out Ryan's show. It's so good. I'm actually excited to see it. I haven't seen 500 List yet.
Oh dang! Yeah. It's for people that have seen my previous show, Beers About Songs. It's not a sequel. I call it a sidequel because it happens parallel to the events of that show. But neither show is necessary to see the other show. They're interconnected, but they completely stand alone.
And for people who have no idea who you are, let's talk about you. Hey, the Fourth Wall. We all love Ryan Adam Wells. Can each of us go ahead and share one thing that we like about him? Neil, you want to go first?
Well, we actually have a connection, having lived in Bloomington, Indiana. I think we overlapped for a little bit of time before we knew each other.
I think like a year or two is what we figured out. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we've got that Bloomington, Indiana connection, but also David Sheehan, who is I don't know, not a character. But,
he's mentioned briefly in the 500 list.
Yeah. He has a mention in there, and at some point after knowing you and after knowing him for a while, it was like, oh wait, we all know each other, and that was a beautiful connection to make. And David is someone that I worked with at the Bloomington Playwrights Project in Bloomington while I was there, and we got to
he's
do
my best friend and was my best man at my wedding.
Yeah. So, I mean, the world is small. The Fringe world is its own little small thing, and it is wonderful that our circles of influence just keep overlapping in beautiful ways.
Yeah, for those that don't know what we're talking about, that my my show is about my best friend in college, but my best friends in college were two different guys, both named David. So this is one of the Davids, not the one that the show does not focus on, is who Neil and I both know. Yeah.
So one of my favorite things, when I first met you, I was just like, I was floored by just like your energy, and like you're just like the most lovely human in the world, and I adored just spending time with you. And then I hadn't seen Beers About Songs. I had been at a couple festivals and I just hadn't gotten to see it. But when I finally saw it, I was like, all right, it's about beer. I like beer. I'm gonna go. And then at the end, I was just like, and it's so, and then I just like, everybody needs to go. I had my now husband go see it, and it's so good. And it's your style of because we haven't mentioned this yet, I suppose, is you are a singer-songwriter. Mm-hmm. And are fabulous, and you play guitar fabulously, and your style tends to be, you call yourself more like blues and country, correct?
I say alternative country or like cowpunk, or there's a lot of different terms for it. Americana is the most commonly used term to describe like the umbrella term for music, kind of like my music. Right. Simply put, it's just country music with intelligent lyrics.
Which, like, I think when I hear the country, like, something in me just goes, and like, but then but listening to you and and going to your shows, I'm just like, oh no, this I love, and I will listen to this all day, every day, if I can. Like Greg, I don't think, Neil, you haven't seen 500 List either, right?
Not yet, but I'm so glad we can finally see it online.
No, we're all gonna watch it on DigiFringe, and I'm just so pumped. I'm so glad that we get to see it, and it just got so many rave reviews at Orlando. Can you remind us about the award that you got?
Yeah, I won Best Solo Musical, which is the same award that Beers About Songs won in 2017, which is pretty cool. That's like, now I need to write a third one and get the hat trick. But yeah, I was very, very, very honored. Both of the newspapers loved it. I got a standing ovation every show, which was incredible, and I didn't know how to handle that because I was raised Catholic and I don't know how to handle direct praise like that. I was telling people, sit down. I don't know what to do. But yeah, it was an incredible run.
From us fellow musicians, we are completely unsurprised that you got that kind of love for your work, because your work is just fantastic, and we're so excited to be sharing it with our live stream audience.
I really appreciate that.
So shall we talk about this piece? Can you tell us about Rovers?
Yeah, so Rovers is a little folk tune that I wrote after after what turned out to be my final tour in Australia. Although I'm sure I'll go back at some point in this world, but it's just I was trying to think about life on the road and trying to think about the Fringe and what the Fringe is and how it works and what an amazing community it is, and the Fringe is just like, it connects all of us independent artists that are all trying to do. It's amazing. I don't know if anybody's watching and for some reason hasn't been to a Fringe festival. It's called Fringe because it's the fringes of professional theater. So it's all of us people that are trying to do something that isn't quite recognized by what is perceived as professional theater. Whether it be like, for years I got told that my music was too theatrical for most music clubs, and that I was too much music for most theaters. And then Fringe just offered me a place to put that thing that didn't quite fit in any of those boxes. And there's so many acts on the Fringe that are exactly that. So we've become this Isle of Misfit Toys, but with a happy feeling instead of that forlorn feeling that they have in the movie. And it's just so great. Like, it's just this immediate found family and immediate connection, and anybody who finds themselves on the circuit becomes a part of that family in an instant. And it's the best thing in the world, and that's what this song was me trying to capture all of that into 3.5 minutes, and then it wound up being 5 minutes. So yeah, it's just it's my tribute to tour, it's my tribute to my fellow artists, and it's my tribute to the family that we find doing this thing.
And we reached out to the Framily all over the world and got a bunch of content that I edited into this piece that we actually premiered on our anniversary show last August. But we love bringing this up because it is such a wonderful way to see our friends and our found family all over the place. Normally we'd all be on the road right now, or next month and August, having just finished up Orlando and then heading off to the next festivals. Normally this would be the time for London Fringe in Ontario, and then the cycle continues going from east to west. So we'll go ahead and share Rovers. Just a reminder, do check out our DigiFringe shows. We'll talk a little bit after this. Follow Ryan. We're putting all of his links on the thing. You can support him through Patreon if you like the work. You can also support us through Patreon if you like the work. And here's Rovers. We'll just do a little bit of playing, and then we'll maybe come back and say goodbye. That is the wrong piece to share. So close. It's this one.
We leave out port more often than you think, and I sleep in my own bed way less than you believe. We leave our families behind for way too long, but the family we find on the road is so strong. We rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. Here's to the Rovers, here's to the road. We fill our venues up with seats, we fill our heads up with reviews, we fill fill our futons up with sheets. We fill our livers up with booze. On the fringes of sanity, on the edges of the earth, we'll say goodbye in Winnipeg, but I'll see you in Perth. We rove around, rove around, rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. Here's to the Rovers, oh, here's to the Rovers. Come on, raise your glasses high. It's never goodbye, it's only see you next time. I couldn't lose you if I tried. To the folks we leave behind, you deserve so much love for putting up with the distance, hell, for putting up with us. But when you're bitten by the bug, it's so hard to let go. When you twist and you turn and you ache and you burn, waiting for the next show. We rove around, rove around, rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. We rove around, rove around, rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. Here's to the Rovers, oh, here's to the Rovers. Oh, here's to the Rovers. Oh, here's to the Rovers. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate you.
And we, of course, appreciate all of you for joining us. A huge thank you again to Ryan Adam Wells for being here with us this week, or this month. It is June. You've made it. Happy Pride, everyone. Hope you can find ways to love yourself and love the community around you. Keep taking care of yourself. Be healthy as you can. Be safe. And we hope to see you on the road soon. As the Fourth Wall, we will actually have our first live in-person shows at the end of this month, June 30th. The Live for Five series at Opera House Arts up in Stonington, Maine. And then later in August, August 21st, we'll be at Celebration Barn Theater in Paris, Maine. So if you want to come to Maine, the summer's a great time to do it. And you can see us. Do support Ryan Adam Wells on Patreon and check out 500 List on DigiFringe. We're going to disappear from here because we're going to hop over to our watch party, also on DigiFringe, for Fruit Flies and Friends. So thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you soon, I hope. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.